Hello learner, welcome in my lecture of programming in Java. Today I will discuss about introduction to JDBC, JDBC basics, steps to JDBC, API, API driver, connection management. I am Dr. Ashutosh Kumar Bhatt, Associate Professor, School of Computer Science and IT, Uttarakhand Open University, Haldwani. The main objective of today's lecture: JDBC data source architecture, JDBC Java database connectivity, API driver, typical JDBC programming procedure, connection management in JDBC, basic steps to use database in Java. So these are the major objective of this lecture. So first of all, what is JDBC? We can use JDBC API to access tabular data stored in any relational database. So this is very important, JDBC Java database connectivity. So this is for fetching the data which is stored in the tabular form. So this is the definition of JDBC. So this type of data we can fetch from the table through JDBC. And this is architecture of JDBC. We have application, so we are working on this application. We are preparing the program, and through program from database with help of JDBC we access the data. So this is the architecture. So one side is application means the program, and other side is database. From database we have to fetch or access table and through JDBC. So this is JDBC, and JDBC also called connection manager. Now see the another diagram. Here also you can see database, Java application, JDBC driver and JDBC API. So we have also added here JDBC API. Through JDBC API and Java application we access the data, tabular data from the database with help of JDBC driver. So you can see here in the oval shape we have written JDBC driver. So with the help of JDBC driver we access the data. So this is the main purpose of JDBC. By using JDBC we collect data from the database. Now again see the JDBC API. So we have already added JDBC API in this diagram, JDBC API. So here by the help of JDBC API we can save, update, delete, fetch data from the database. It is like open database connectivity, ODBC, provided by the Microsoft. So now this new term ODBC, basically there are two terms, one is JDBC and another one is the ODBC. In case of Java technology or Java tool we require JDBC. We use JDBC API for fetching the data, for collecting the data. But when we have Microsoft softwares or Microsoft tool or Microsoft database, in that case we require ODBC, open database connectivity. So see the another diagram here. In this diagram you can see in case of Oracle we require Oracle driver, in case of Sybase we require Sybase driver, and suppose we have DBase or MS Access, so we require ODBC bridge driver, ODBC bridge manager also require, and through access driver as well as DBase driver we access the data from DBase as well as from MS Access, and this is under ODBC bridge driver. And finally these are the three different drivers, and again you can see here in the upper layer of these three driver, ODBC bridge driver, Oracle driver and Sybase driver, we have JDBC driver, and finally in the top layer you can see Java application or applet. So Java, whenever Java application require any data, so JDBC driver work as a interface between Oracle driver, ODBC driver and Sybase driver as well as Java application. So this is the use of this JDBC driver manager. So this hierarchical diagram will also explain the use of this JDBC driver manager. Now in the same slide, JDBC API, where by the help of JDBC API we can save, update, delete and fetch data from the database. It is like open database connectivity, ODBC, provided by the Microsoft. So this ODBC is provided by the Microsoft. So this is the difference between JDBC and ODBC. JDBC is in case of Java tool, Java application, we require JDBC, and in case of Microsoft tool we require ODBC. JDBC, Java database connectivity, we call it Java database connectivity. It's full form of this JDBC. JDBC API allows Java program to connect to the database. So this is providing interface, as well as it allows Java program to connect with the database. Database access is the same for all database vendor. So this process is same for all the database vendor. So here database vendor means Oracle. Oracle is a database vendor. Sybase is a database vendor. DBase and MS Access are the database vendor. DBase and MS Access are the database tool of Microsoft. Microsoft is a vendor. Oracle is a database. So this is also provided by the Oracle Corporation. Sybase by the NIT Technology. So these are the different database vendors here. So database access is the same for all database vendor. The process is same in case of all database vendor. Now typical JDBC programming procedure. So this is the programming procedure. We have basically 5 steps, and by following these 5 steps we can connect with the database, and database connectivity can be managed by these 5 steps. So the first step, load the database driver. Second is obtain a connection. Third one is create and execute statement SQL queries. Fourth one, use result set tables to navigate through result. And finally, in the step number 5, we close the connection. So one by one I will explain all these 5 steps. So the first one is the load the database driver. So for loading the database driver, we should know for the list of database driver. So this is the address. By this address we can find the database driver, JDBC driver here. So this is industry.java.sun.com products/JDBC/driver. So it will display all the drivers of the JDBC. So this JDBC driver means the first step. Again you can see here, load the database driver. So by this first step, we require this command, class.forName oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. Suppose we require Oracle driver, so we will use here oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. In case we require other driver like this class.forName sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc ODBC driver. So in case of Microsoft we require this one, sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc ODBC driver. Suppose we require MySQL. So the class.forName, this second example you can see here, class.forName com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So the address are different. In the first one, this is sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver, and in second example you can see here com.mysql. The address of the MySQL is different than the address of this JDBC ODBC driver. So com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So address are different address for different vendors, we can say here. So again see this line, class.forName. By this line, class.forName oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. So this is different in case of the Oracle, and these are two another one. Second example is for MySQL and first one for the Microsoft database. So class.forName will be same. So this is the statement, class.forName. ForName is a function, and this is the argument, oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. This is under double quotes. Now the second one is the connection, maintaining the connection. See the second step, first step is load the database driver. So in first step we will load the driver. After loading the driver, when driver is loaded, successfully loaded, then we will create a connection. So second number is obtain a connection. So by this connection class, connection con is the object of this connection class. So second step is to establish connection. Connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So driver manager dot get connection. Get connection is a function. Driver manager is a class. So by using this driver manager dot get connection, we are we are obtaining the connection. So you can see inside the bracket this JDBC dot Oracle colon JDBC colon Oracle colon thin @ uou.ac.in colon 1521 is a port number, .it is a DSN name, and then we have two more arguments. First is the account name, means username, and second is the password, its password. So these are the three arguments. First is the location by which how to trace it, how to trace the connection. So we will provide here the port number as well as DSN name, data source name also here, and second one is the username, and third one is the password. So dynamically load a driver class for Oracle driver, and suppose we are establishing connection with other one MySQL, then we have to change the class.forName, and inside this double quotes we will change the address of MySQL. So this is the second step, connection con. Connection con is the object. So driver manager dot get connection. So we are obtaining or we are getting the connection by this statement. First statement is for the driver manager, for loading the driver manager. So these are two steps: load the database driver. Second is obtain a connection. So you can see in this slide, loading class.forName. So we can also use the exception handling with this database connectivity. So here you can see using class.forName. ForName is a function. ForName, it need one argument which is string type argument, and that string argument is the driver name. So we must have to write here the argument, and this will be the driver name, and this driver will be Oracle driver. Maybe this is Oracle driver, maybe this is SQL driver, maybe this is MS Access driver of Microsoft. So we must have to write, we must have to fill this string or this argument. It is from java.lang.class. So under this language.class we have this class.forName, and instruct the JVM to find, load and link the class. So this is again this is loading class.forName function. So this is under this is for JDBC, loading for JDBC driver. Now you can see try and catch block are here. So we will write this statement class.forName under try block. So inside the try block you can see here curly bracket started, and then class.forName, and inside the bracket com.cloud space.core.jdbc driver, and then double quotes is close and bracket close semicolon, and then again curly bracket close. So this is under try block. Suppose there is any error, there is an error related to this driver. Suppose we have mentioned here the address of driver is wrong, so automatically it will move to this catch block, and automatically this class not found exception will be generated, and class not found exception E is the object of this class not found exception, and accordingly the system, the line which is mentioned inside this catch block system.out.println driver not found, automatically it will display this default message driver not found. So sometimes we write misspell the name of this driver, or sometimes wrongly typed by the user, by the programmer. So in that case it will display driver not found error. So this is try and catch block, and we can also use this try and catch block for the security purpose, that the program will run smoothly, so that program will run smoothly. So this is again for the loading the driver. Now you can see MySQL driver. Suppose we are using this MySQL driver, we have to use data or table data from the table of MySQL. Then we have to mention here class.forName org.gjt.mm.mysql.driver. So the address may be different. So you have to find these address, you have to Google them, and then you will find the address of different vendor from where we can collect the data. Connection con is the object of this connection class. So the first step for driver, loading the driver manager, and the second step is the obtaining the connection. So this is connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So here abc colon mysql colon localhost / localhost database / name. So ename means this is related to the DSN name. Localhost means same computer we are having the database, MySQL database, from where we are collecting the data, and UID represent this user ID, and password PASSW representing the password. So these are two steps I have explained you. And then we have a statement. STMT is the object of the statement class. Con dot create statement. So this is creating the blank statement, creates a statement object for sending SQL statements to the database. And we can write the statement like select asterisk from student inside this simple bracket. So this is the create JDBC statement. Now third, create and execute the statement. Now we have to create the statement. SQL queries means. So see here again, this is the same one. Now establishing the connection and then creating the queries. So this is the third one, statement STMT equals to connection dot create statement. So this is create statement. So this create statement is blank. We are not writing any statement inside the bracket. It means we are creating the blank statement. Blank statement here we are creating. Statement STMT is the object of statement class. Con connection dot create statement. So we have to we have taken here link of this connection. So in second step we have established the connection. So we will take a reference of the connection dot create statement. Over that connection we will create a statement, but this time the statement is blank. Creates a statement object for sending the SQL statement for the to the database. We can also mention here inside the bracket, we can also mention here the statement, but here we are creating a blank statement. Further we will create a statement. So here you can see the complete example of the program of the steps, all steps. You can see this program, import java.sql.start. The first statement means first of all we will import SQL package, Java package, and inside Java package we have SQL package dot star. And in the second line, third line, you can see here import java.util. So util utility, some utility function also be required in the program. So we are writing here import java.util dot star. And now we are starting the program class msexe, and inside this class we have public static void main string args. Then we have try block, and inside try block we have class.forName. By using this statement class.forName, we are loading the driver sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. So the first step is to load driver by this line, and the second step, that is establishing the connection, obtaining the connection. Connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So we are mentioned here JDBC colon ODBC colon main. So here we have mentioned this main is a DSN name, and we are not writing here any username and password. It means the database not having any username and password. Like MS Access, like DBase, we don't require any username and password. But in case of Oracle, we have to mention here username and password. Suppose we are not mentioning username and password, then it will create the statement and it will open the statement. Later it will ask you the username and password. Otherwise, directly it will connect with the Oracle in case of the Oracle. But here we are not using Oracle, we are using here MS Access. So this sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. So this is basically for the Microsoft tools, Microsoft databases. And the third statement, that is statement st equals to connection dot create statement. Here statement is blank. So again see the major steps which require for the database connectivity. First is load the database driver. I have already explained you, by using class.forName we can load the database. And the second one is the connection. Obtain a connection by using the connection class, connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So this is this statement refer to this obtain the connection. And third one, create and execute the statement. So we require for this third step statement stmt equals to connect con dot create statement. So these are the three steps. And number fourth step is the result set. So see in this program the all three steps. First step, class.forName, by using this line we can load the driver. Second, connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So by writing this line we are obtaining the connection. And in the third line we are creating the statement st equals to con dot create statement. Now see the while loop, because before this while loop you can see here result set rs equals, this is the fourth step, result set rs equals to st dot execute query. St means the statement which we have created already in the previous line. So this is the blank statement, and st dot execute query, and the query is written here, select asterisk from student. So it means we should have already this student class, and from the student class we will collect all the data, and this all data will transfer to the result set. Result set is a class, result set is a type of class where we can store tabular data. So this is a vector type class. So in this class we can store tabular data, means the data which is in row and column. So the whole data of student table will transfer to the result set, and the object of result set is rs. So it means rs will represent all data of student class. So rs dot next, so this next command will move one by one to the next line of the this table, means the table will be transferred to the result set. And result set, the reference of result set is rs. So rs dot next automatically move on next line of the data which is stored on the result set. So rs dot next, first time when we will write rs dot next, it will point to the first line, and in first line we have suppose these two columns, name and roll number. So this is the student table. From the student table, suppose we have two field, only name and roll number. So we will write here system.out.println rs dot get string name. So the first column, the value of first line, name value of the first line we will find out. Name is a column name, and in place of this first column, name field, name column. So suppose the first name is Amit, so it will return Amit. Get string will return the value of name, the first value of name is Amit, so it will return that value, and that value will be printed on our by this line system.out.print. And then the second line system.out.print blank space, after writing the name Amit we will have this blank space. And then the third line system.out.print rs.get string, we are not writing here println will move to the next line, pointer will move in the next line, but print will remain in the same line by using this print command, system.out.print command, it will not move to the next line. In the same line, we will display the value of roll number. So get string, rs.getString will fetch the value of roll number column, first value of the roll number column, because the pointer is in rs.next is mention the pointer in the first line. And then finally the fourth line, you can see here system.out.println. Now we have written here println, so it will move to the next line, and again we will come on this while loop. rs.next will again run, and we will move to the first to second line. Now we will move to second line, and then we will display the name and roll number of the second line. So this by using this program, we can fetch, we can collect data from the student table. So this is complete small program. So we have to understand four steps, loading the driver and obtaining the connection, third creating the statement, and the fourth one is the finding the result set, collecting data from the table in the result set. And then by using while loop or for loop, one by one we will print the data of the table in our application in Java. However, we are collecting data from the student table, and which is stored on the Microsoft tool, maybe it is MS Access or DBase. So MS Access is the latest version of the database, so obviously it will be in the MS Access. So it will fetch accordingly from the MS Access. So finally, in the fifth step, close the connection. We will close the statement as well as close the connection. Statement represent statement. STMT is the reference of the statement class, and con is the reference of the connection class. So statement will be closed and connection will be closed. So these are the steps: establishing a connection, create a JDBC statement, execute statement, get result set, and close connection. So these are the steps. Again, you can see the first step before this first step 1, establish a connection, we have one more step, that is loading the driver. So basic steps to use database in Java. So this is the heading. So again the program is same. So finally this lecture, after listening this lecture, learner will be able or we can say the learning outcome of this lecture is understand JDBC data source architecture and how to write a program for database connectivity as well as accessing or collecting data from the database or table, and to understand the JDBC Java database connectivity API driver also, and learner able to learn JDBC programming procedure and connection management in JDBC. Finally, to understand the basic step to use a database in Java. Maybe this I hope this lecture will be very beneficial for the learner, and learner must have to practice this program which I have explained you, and this is very important program. If you understand this one program, so you can use and you can find the data from database of Oracle as well as Sybase or MS Access, SQL, everywhere we can collect the data and display in the or use in the Java application. So thank you learner, thank you very much, thank you once again.